Hi, I'm Extraayogurt and welcome back to another speed build. Today in this build, we'll be starting on our apartment and townhome area. If you watched my last video, I kind of laid out the neighborhood and how it's gonna look, where things are gonna go and all that. So if you haven't seen my last video, I highly recommend checking it out. And this apartment complex is going to be pretty big. I guess they're more like townhomes, but I called them apartments. So they're going to be called Corner Pond Apartments. Once again, I've said this before, I don't have a lot of creativity when it comes to naming lots. And I originally named this Corner Pond because I thought I was going to put a pond in the corner of it. So it didn't end up happening. But yeah, I still thought it was a nice name. But yeah, let's get into the build. So for this build, I really wanted to add a little mini car park because I just figured your Sims might want to have cars, and obviously they can't actually put cars there, but since there's no garages, it only makes sense to add a car park just like real life. So I had a lot of fun with this layout. It came pretty naturally. I just decided to start off with some big boxes and then add a bunch of columns and porches and balconies and everything like that. And then I also really wanted to add that foundation portion up in the front because I thought maybe, no one wants their apartment right next to the road. And I imagine that this road is going to be pretty busy because I'll be putting a lot of apartment lots on this road. So yeah. So I don't know how long this goes on for, but for the next like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, I struggled trying to get a good combination of wall coverings here. I had an image in my head, and the game was just not giving me what I needed. So I went through so many different combinations, and I was hating everything. I actually ended up going to bed and then tackling this the next day because I was getting kind of burnt out. And then with the fences as well, the game was just not giving me what I wanted for this build. It's usually never this hard for me to pick a combination, but I knew I was going to spend a lot of time on this build, and I just wanted it to be perfect. Another thing I wanted to add is that I'm a huge fan of the ultra modern or like city apartments. I'm a huge fan of those in real life. And if you look online for apartment inspo, that's like pretty much the main kind you'll get. They're not really like practical, like, your average apartments, like most of us are used to. And that's really what I wanted to go for with these, was just something you might see in your neighborhood, or something reasonably priced. So yeah, that was kind of my goal for this, and hopefully I achieved that. I think I did. I do want to try to make some of those ultra modern apartments as well, but I really like the neighborhood feel of these apartments. Like where I live, I can definitely see these being built. So one of my tips for y'all for avoiding this situation where you're taking forever to find a color combo is finding one wallpaper, one wall covering that you want to use. Like, no matter what, you want to use that one, or say no matter what, you want to use a gray roof. Pick one thing and just stick to it. Like, make sure that if everything else changes, that's what stays the same. So you can kind of build around that rather than changing everything and having so many variables. Just try to keep that one constant, and that should kind of sort of help with avoiding this. But yeah, I guess honestly I didn't even take my own advice, because I really wanted to use that dark red brick, but it just wasn't matching the atmosphere I was trying to capture. So yeah. As y'all can tell, this build was very window heavy. So it just depends, but sometimes I'll start with the wallpaper and then the layout, and then I'll place the windows. But in a build like this, I feel like the windows were like essential to get the look that I wanted. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, I definitely think the windows with like the shutters, it just looks really nice and put together, and I think that it complemented the color palette that I chose for the wallpapers as well. But yeah, another thing that I last minute decided to add to this build was making that fourth unit a clubhouse instead of an actual apartment unit, because obviously in real life most apartments or townhomes have a common area where there's usually a gym, maybe like a few offices, like the leasing office, and some places even have like dedicated model homes. And I just really wanted to incorporate that and add a little bit of realism. On the topic of realism, my game, I love for it to be like the perfect combination between still a game and realism. So like, I don't want it to be super realistic, although I do admire people who do that. But it does take some of the fun out of the game, because if I were to make this city like realistic to a T, I would have like a hospital, a police station, stuff like that I just really don't feel like building. I just want to focus on the fun stuff. But yeah, I take a lot of inspiration from real life. So So something I thought would be really cool to add was the walk-in closets, especially the ones that go through the bathroom first. I feel like that's pretty common for a master bedroom in real life. So, you know, when your Sims move in, they could probably you could put random objects there. Maybe like if they got a simoleon tree, you could put it there. Or you could use the clothing racks and put actual clothing racks in there. I just thought it would be cool to add that. And then also for the smaller bedrooms, I decided to just use the built-in wardrobes that come with apartment life. I really do like using those, but I prefer the ones without the mirror. So, but yeah, for the first floor of each of the apartments, I just wanted to give a lot of freedom to the Sims who move in there. So you'll see that I really just developed the kitchen, a pantry, and a little shelving area. And I left the rest of the space open. So, you know, your Sims can cram as much stuff as they want in there and have a lot of room to do their thing. So here you can see me trying everything I can to get the sink in the island, and in the end it kind of worked, but that little piece sticking up from the edge of the counter was just bugging me so bad. I was kind of thinking to myself like, oh well, maybe that can be like a little spot where they can plug in their phones, or just trying to imagine something to make use of it. But in the end I just thought it looked too it just didn't look clean to me. So and then I continued trying to make it work with these half walls, and it just was not doing it for me. So adding those little shelves is kind of my attempt at making up for the fact that there's no cabinets. I know that I could download some, but I just chose not to. Maybe in the future I will. And then of course I added the little faux pantry. Obviously it's not accessible, but I just like the look that it gives. So yeah. Then I changed the back to this white brick. Just imagine that brick is tiles, because I really wanted like small white subway tiles. and the game doesn't have that. So I feel like a lot of my builds are really just me wishing the game had stuff that it didn't. When I was first playing years and years and years and years ago, everything the game had used to be plenty or even too much, but now I've just seen it all. Are y'all excited for Sims 5? Or like, do y'all think Sims 5 is going to be enough to take you away from Sims 2? I think about that a lot. I definitely want to put up a build when it comes out and see what it's about, but I'm just wondering if this will finally be the Sims that top Sims 2 somehow. Because if, like, let's be honest, we're never gonna get Sims 2 remastered. We're just not. It's not gonna happen. So I have a lot of high hopes for Sims 5. I think I'm gonna be a lot easier on the criticism because who knows, it might be the last Sims we ever get. So we'll just have to make do with what we get. I just love how they came up with an entire pack for bathrooms and kitchens, and I like never use any of this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I just, like I said, I always go for realism in what I see, and the least they could have done was give us a shower and tub combo that wasn't colored ridiculously. Like the shower tub combos that we have, they just look silly to me. I don't know why I'm still criticizing this game as if they're able to fix it, but yeah. Actually, let me double back on that, because clearly I used the stove and fridge, so I have no clue what I'm talking about, but I guess I just mean the bathroom stuff. I think, are those lights from H&M? I think they are, but my kitchen actually has lights just like that, so that's what gave me the idea to put those there. And yeah, so here I am just going through adding the lighting everywhere, making sure everything is nice and bright. Should I have gone with the darker carpet, or does this one look better? I don't know. I feel like having dark carpet on the second floor just makes it feel a little more claustrophobic. So I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. Honestly, taking care of the clubhouse was so much fun because at least in my adult life, I'm just really used to seeing different kinds of apartments and living in apartments. So I know all about this. Like, I know exactly what it's supposed to look like and what it all includes and the size of it. Even this carpet, I swear every apartment gym has this carpet for some reason. So yeah, this was a lot of fun for me. And then the first floor, I wanted to be super inviting. So I kind of left the offices open, and you'll see I put a lot of, colors and decorations. And, I imagine that this is when your sim decides if they want to live here or not. And I wish I could somehow like have NPCs sit at the desks, but obviously leasing offices are not a thing in The Sims. So based on the placement of things, I don't even know if these two computers will be usable, but if they are, your Sims can definitely just step in. Oh wait, no. As I'm looking at it right now, I can see that they are. There's plenty of walking space for them to get to the computers. So although there won't be actual workers there, obviously your Sims can go in there and use those computers. And now I'm looking at it again and see that I put a shelf there. So we'll see. I apologize, y'all. As of right now, I do not play test my lots just because I'm just focused on building out this city before I add any families in the town, even like a tester family. But hopefully y'all don't mind. Yeah, I love clubhouses. I love this part of the apartment. It's typically what you see on the homepage when you're looking at apartments. Is the really nicely decorated clubhouse or model home, and it just gets you excited about living there. So I made sure to include a little seating area. I really wanted to put that fish tank, but there was nowhere for it to go that wasn't in the sun. I put a little table for, if you're reading the newspaper or you're having a coffee, you can sit there and just kind of enjoy the atmosphere. Maybe your Sims are like moving in and they don't have all their stuff moved in yet and they just want to relax. So they come to the clubhouse, get a coffee or a hot cocoa, and just lounge in there. I think this is so cute. And then I made sure that I put warm lighting. I can't stand really bright, harsh lighting where it doesn't belong. So I made sure there were warm tones and all that. And because this layout isn't far off from the actual apartments, I think it's a good way for your sim to see what they're getting into, kind of feel out the apartment. The gym, that's where the harsh light belongs for sure. I last minute added that white fence just to give it more of like a community, like gated community kind of thing. I think most apartments these days are like that. Well, they claim they're like a gated community, but then the gate never works. So I thought that was cute. And honestly, this common area, I'd hate to say I'm not a huge fan of it, because clearly I was proud enough of it to leave it like that and post this, but it's missing something, and it's not big enough for a pool, at least not in my opinion. But it'll be cute once I see Sims walking around there and barbecuing and socializing and stuff. But as it stands, it just feels like it's okay. It's all right. One thing I can say is this at least beats the Maxis apartments that they give you. So I know that's not saying much, but I added some hedges to give it some privacy and maybe block some noise if someone's having a get together there. I placed plenty of shrubs all over the lot, and this is where I started to drop a lot of frames as I was recording, because I guess like the game just loading in all those plant textures. I don't know how this, I'm assuming that's why. I could tell I would drop frames every time I came around all the plants. So of course I had to add a welcome sign with random Greek letters. We don't know what that says, but we're gonna pretend that means corner pond apartments. But yeah, I think that adds a nice touch too. Then I replaced those shrubs with some flowers. I think that looked a lot better. Those bushes I put between the foundation, the game was recognizing them as inside, so that's why they're darker than they should be. I don't know if you guys can notice, but yeah. Added some concrete things for the parking lot. And of course, almost forgot the ceilings. I don't usually do that, so just went ahead and covered up the ceilings where I thought it made sense. I was okay with the regular white top ceiling on the porches and stuff, but yeah, so here we are in the finished build. All right, so now we're gonna get into a million screenshots I took. I hope y'all enjoyed that little video part. But this might seem random, but while we're here, I just wanted to go on a little Sims 3 rant. How do y'all play Sims 3? Like, how do y'all actually play Sims 3? Building in Sims 3 is the most stressful thing ever. Like, there's just too many options. The coloring stuff, the game is really dark. I can go on and on about how I feel about Sims 3. I don't want to bash the game because it has its high points, but as far as building and creating stuff, which I like to do, it's a nightmare. Just having to, I guess, having the option to recolor everything exactly how you want it and choose from hundreds of colors and patterns is great. But to some of us, that's too overwhelming. It's too much. I don't know. I don't see a whole lot of Sims 3 players, maybe because I just don't subscribe to them, but not on purpose. I just I just don't see it a lot. And then on top of that, Sims 3 is so resource intensive on your computer, especially if you have all the expansions and stuff. Somebody explain to me. Somebody who plays Sims 3, please explain to me. But anyway, here we are in the clubhouse. I would live here. I would personally move here. Do y'all agree? Would you live here? Yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out. The orange as accents, I think that came out really nice. Everything just came together. I had actually tried building these apartments 2 or 3 other times with a completely different look, and I just kept failing. Like, I was trying to do too much with the constrained floor elevation cheat, and it just was not coming out right. And so I just decided to do some like real simple apartments that you might see in real life that came to me a lot more naturally, and this is what we ended up with. These last few screenshots are a little bit boring because they're like just showing a bunch of empty rooms, but I still thought they were nice and they were necessary. I don't know what I like about it. Maybe because it's realistic. Oh, and here you can see how I put the bathroom and the closet one after another. I think that looks so nice. Yeah, and I show all the different kitchen layouts. There's 3 different ones, only slightly different, but I still wanted to make sure to include all of them. And there's a living space of one of the units, another one of the units' bathrooms, and I believe this is the smallest unit's kitchen. Yes. And the smallest unit also has the turn staircase as well, just because I found the perfect little nook for it. But anyways, we're coming to the end. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope y'all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and leave me some feedback. What did you think? What did you like? What did you not like? But yeah, I will see you in the next build. Bye-bye.